Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Vicki Ross, and I'm here with a live recording. I'm going to paint a face live in acrylic. Something I've had some requests for and just thought I would do it. So, like I said, this is live. I usually wait a few minutes at the beginning for folks to trickle in. And if you're watching this on replay, please, wash my mouth, can't do a thing with it. Please fast forward. So I'll be kind of quiet here in the beginning and enjoy the quiet. Need to put excuse me while I find something here. Hi, Gita. How are you today? Okay, trickle, folks. I'll wait a little bit. I am early. That's why I always say ish. I never know exactly what time I'm going to come on. Well, I mean, within 10, 15 minutes or so. And I'm glad you're coming in from Facebook. I can see that. Have you been here before? If you don't want to talk, that's fine. But I just say hello anyway. I used Fabri-Tac to put this down, and I'm not real sure it's going to hold. This is a raw canvas backing. I guess that's down. Oops, I forgot YouTube. Never mind, don't find me. Got to turn my music off. Hey, Tanya. How are you? Glad to see some folks from Facebook coming on. I broadcast this live, live to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, which is fun. As I told everybody in the beginning, if you watch this on replay, be sure that you know you can fast forward through the non-interesting parts. Wrinkle just as big as Dallas in that. This piece of paper I glued on here is a jelly print in encaustic, and it's on deli paper, so it's got a little bit of a waxy surface, and I hope it sticks on good enough for this. If it doesn't, we'll do something else. Where are you, Tanya? That sounds like an Australia time. Thursday? Today's Tuesday. You far, far away, girl. New Zealand. I had a good friend in New Zealand once when we were traveling to Europe for watercolor workshops. Her name's Dee. That's how we said Debbie, but Dee. That's kind of how she said it. We went to the same workshop, same pool. There was a Hong Kong, New Zealand, England, Italy, Canada, us, and I don't remember where the others are from, but we went 2 years in a row, the same base group. So we really got to know each other. That was fun. Hi, Rachel. Thank you. That's encaustic on deli paper. So I was just seeing if it was going to stick good. You've been a busy little bee, girl. Getting all famous. Working your tail off. Being famous comes with a cost. Just peeling little pieces off. That's a yummy color. Here's the piece she's going to face. Not for any reason, but I had the red and mixed media book, so I had to do something to make it. And I can always tone this down if I choose. Yeah, I'm too old to get that busy. We'll wait just a few more minutes. It's 20 till almost, and then we'll get started. Might as well just go ahead and kind of tip you now. I got great news on this little painting. Some of you may have watched me do it, and it was in a live. And in the Richardson Casing show, they had 500 people buy the kits from, they offered a giveaway with the kits. They would send you casing, and then that also included your entry into the show. And there were 500 people who ordered at that level, and you could enter more than one. So there were well above 500 entries, and this little lady got in the top 75. So I was thrilled. And the one that I worked so hard on didn't get anywhere. That's the way it goes. Yeah, she just turned out great. I threw her in at the last minute. I thought, I can put another one in, and this book has been done with casein. Here's your little lady, Rachel. Anyway, I was flabbergasted. You just don't ever know what a judge is going to do. So anyway, that's the way it always works. I quit entering shows a long time ago on a regular basis. Just because it doesn't matter to anybody but the artist. I'm going to go ahead and start. I've kind of got a rough. Let me show y'all my palette first. I'm working in acrylic today. This is a Masterson palette, and it's got a yellow sponge underneath it that you soak and wet. And then this is a permeable paper. You can see how this color has spread. So I've got my usual cool and warm yellow, cool and warm red, warm and cool blue, and then I've got a PBO iridescent pink, I've got white, and I've got portrait pink. So I think with all that we can do what we need to do here. If I can keep from spilling my water. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit of pink color in her face. I have done them before. Let's see if I've got one in here. At the Asian geisha face, I don't guess I've got another one in here. By putting color on first and then lightening it. But that's kind of hard to do too. I'll end up with this lightened all over the place. This is, like I said earlier, this is on raw canvas and Dina Wakely's book, mixed media book. It's got all kinds of different paper in it. And leave little, I kind of got spots there for the eyes. That canvas is going to soak up the paint, because typically your canvas is primed with gesso. Primed 2 or 3 times, as a matter of fact. There's her nose. But since this is acrylic, I won't have any trouble with it drying or having to wait for it to dry. The other thing I'm using artist quality Deco Art media paints. That's their artist line. And then for my white, I'm using an inexpensive craft paint. It's the Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby. And the pink, I'm mixing most of this pink, but the pink that I've got on there is De La Rowney from Walmart. And the reason I'm using those two is because they're weak, and weak is sometimes good. Because I want this to be translucent, like the look I get with watercolor and oil and soft pastel. So I want to get transparent layers. I use for acrylic, I use any old brush. This happens to be a Master's Touch from Walmart. From Hobby Lobby. I like a soft brush. I'm gonna put just a little bit more right over here. And that's too much, but we'll get it. Let me make sure that I'm getting the okay, now I want to check. One of these days, I'm going to do a portrait class, but in the meantime, the features of the face are pretty much consistent from person to person. So what you do is you learn the distances, like an eye width is the same between that eye and that eye. So your eyes are an inch, let's just say an inch. So you've got an inch and an inch and an inch. You've got another inch over there. Your nose is an inch. Your mouth is lined up with the pupil of the eye. And your head is half. The eyes are halfway on the head, the oval. That's a quick lesson, isn't it? Just getting it blocked in. Use her ear. So when you learn those things about painting a face or the human body, there are things that line up, and then you can get the personality in. The things that are different about your character, like the mouth and the eyes and the makeup and stuff like that. And there goes puppy dog. They can be sound asleep until I start painting. BJ, no, not right now. Okay, now I need to have a little bit of grayed down purple. Red and blue. I'm mixing up my red and blue. Dull that down. I'm mixing up a color over here. Now he's talking to me. I'm using little feathery strokes to kind of help me in. Okay, I'm going to have to go let them out. I will be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back. Thank God the door isn't downstairs. Let me see who else could come in. Well, thank you very much. This color is really yucky. Look at that. Blending it in. I've had some requests for acrylic. It's hard when I'm got a group of people that may or may not have ever heard this before. So you can hear it again. If you know the basics of art, and then on top of the basics of art never change. They're written in stone, like what a ball is and what a circle is, and that basic stuff, line, and then you can use that. You will use those same rules in everything you do, whether it's collage or watercolor, oil, whatever. And so working in acrylic, if I know the differences in acrylic and watercolor or casing or gouache or whatever it is, then I'm good to go. I can paint. All right, I'm just putting in the entire eye socket, and I have to make sure that it's pretty darn close. And then I'm just going to paint a little triangle here for her nose, and I'm going to paint under her lip. And then I'm going to make sure that these are all parallel to each other, and they are pretty much. And from that eye, okay, about that. Now then the eyebrow. The eye socket is a circle, well, kind of a lopsided circle, right in here. And inside that hole is where the ball fits for the eye. And then after the eye fits in that hole, then the eyelids come on top of that ball. So the top edge of that ball is where the eyebrows sit. And it juts forward a little bit to protect the eye. The bottom part of the eye socket is right here, and that kind of forms the cheekbone. Again, it protects the eyeball. So once you start seeing that, you realize that an eye is an eye is an eye. It sits a ball into a socket. But what makes it unique is how the eyelids behave on top of it. That's kind of an aha, a little darker. And always watch where things line up. Like the eye, the edge of the eye should be pretty close to the edge of the nose, which mine is. And then over here, it can be a little bit different because the head is turned. She's not looking at us straight on. Okay, so. So now it's time for measurements again. And once you learn this, from the chin to the bottom of the nose is this much. From the bottom of the nose to the eyebrows is the same amount. And from that to the top of the forehead is the same amount. So you can divide it by thirds as well. And all that's done is just to make sure that you don't get a wonky mouth. And the propensity with artists, all of us, not just the beginners or the professionals, is you'll get your eyes at the right angle, and then you'll come down and you'll slowly bring that nose to a different angle. And then by the time you get down to the mouth, you're painting it square to the world. And that's sometimes where your paintings look off. Okay, let's put another coat on that skin. I love painting Asian women. My mother-in-law was Japanese, and they have a graciousness. She was born in the U.S., but had to go back to Japan with her mother during the concentration camp era. So she was in Japan through the war years and was educated in Japan. We've got a lot of her heirloom stuff. Gave a lot of it to daughter Betsy. Because we don't have room for it. Changed that color just a little bit. I added some of the warm blue to it. Everybody's quiet out in YouTube land today. It's been like that. They changed the algorithms again. And everybody's live viewership fell off about 30% because they quit notifying with emails. And if you've got a smartphone, you can get a push notification, but not everybody has a smartphone. I'm going to put just a little bit of yellow in my, ooh, that's strong paint. It's not craft paint for sure. Warm her skin just a little in a few places, because her skin color really is under there. I heard the popster come in. That's good. My biggest problem with acrylic is that I forget that it dries so fast. Just getting a feel for where those eyebrows will go. Can you hear them? Poppy's home.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people reach this point and don't really know what to do to fix it. Every painting goes through an ugly stage.
It's mama's.
That may be too dark, but that's okay. We'll get it. You've been gone forever. I'm going to go ahead and come down under her neck now. Make sure that blends before I get any hard lines. Okay, now. Thin layers are what make translucent skin. Not a whole lot of difference there. We're looking at the shadow from the face. and where the cheek, the jawbone is. Rachel and I are both in Robin McClendon's design team. If y'all don't know Robin, you need to find her. She is a jelly plate queen. And I always kind of hold a wet wipe in my hand because it helps around these edges if you need to soften it a little bit. And everybody new to painting has a way of describing brown colors and neutral colors as mud, which is not fair. I'm painting with one right now. Without a neutral, your brights wouldn't have any place to go. And the minute you pop a neutral by a bright color, that bright color is just going to pop. If you have all bright colors, there's no variation to pull the eye in. Canvas is still sucking up the paint, but that's okay. If you have any questions, please put them in all caps.
There's a little boy. You know what? That little boy right there. He gives me some whip. Come on. Well, I came home. Are you on the?
Yeah, I'm live. But Go ahead.
I came home because I had an emergency and I need to go do an inspection.
Okay.
Come here, bub. Get out of there. Hey, come on. Come on. And so I'm going to
Go take care of that.
go do the inspection on that house, and I'll be back.
Okay. I constantly measure. So what I will do in this case, her eye comes over a little bit more. See how easy it is to get off just a little. Now her eye is like that, and then it should be an inch, and then like that. This eye is not quite the same because, again, her head is tilted. And I've got my little cheat sheet. Y'all know that I do this on almost every painting I do. And she's supposed to be square to the world. Not like that. So I'm out over here, and that's fine. Close over here. And her lips are off. No big deal. The beauty of acrylic. Let me check the nose. Nose is good. Now I've got her too wide up there, so I'm just going to bring that down a little bit because her hair will cover it. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. Pretty good shape. Y'all are being real quiet today. The cheek actually comes out just a little bit right in here. I'm going to switch to my little brush if I can find it. It's missing in action. Well, that's the way things go. So I'll just get another one. Yeah, maybe. Let's see if this little bitty one. Just getting a little bit more. I always print full size that I'm painting for this reason. The top lip is always darker because it's curving toward the darkness. The lower lip is coming out toward the light. a half moon. Every portrait artist has their trick. I'm sneaking up on these eyes. I hear somebody eating outside my door. It's too much right there, but we will get it. Makes my eyes itch to think about having this much makeup on. Look where the eyebrow starts and ends. Got her. Seems like you're constantly having to mix more paint. And cut into those eyebrows. It's particularly easy with acrylic because it's so opaque. And she's got some red. And just for grins. Okay, I gotta take a drink. I'm into painting nuance now. Sometimes the very smallest thing can make it come to life. Sorry, I'm not talking much. It's hard to do that and think. I call it the Zen Zone, and that's where I am right now. I don't care what kind of crafting you do, crafting, arting. The Zen Zone is such a restful place. It removes stress. And you come out from a session feeling like you've had a nap. Has anybody got anything to say or questions to ask? I'm getting more and more people in the ZenZone Projects every week, which is fun. They're free. I announced the project on Sunday and have a link to where you can order the free source photos or whatever it is I'm using that week. Oh, I almost forgot. At the very beginning of the chat, the gift away. If you can help me get to 150 more subscribers here on YouTube. It's a little bit too pink. I'm giving away an original painting and some paint and a journal. And the more you share, the more entries you get. How's that for a deal? The link is at the top to my blog, and that has a link to the site where I'm doing the giveaway. Wish I could find that other little brush. I can't use bamboo. Here's a Randy found it. It's a fingernail brush. It's a little bit stiffer. And that's a little bit too pink. Always bringing home something that he finds. Much yellow. This actually has a pretty nice stiffness to it. And they use real hair brushes. It's too dark. You knew that when you did it. Okay. The nose holes are never black. Canvas is beginning to behave now that we're almost through with this part. And we've got so many other colors under it now that and I'm painting real thinly. It's 5 o'clock. I got that too yellow. Got basically a wet brush, and I'm just smoothing this now that it's beginning to sit on top. So glad y'all joined me. The nuance of form is it's here, but it's not as pronounced as it would be. It's such a subtle difference. A little bit of sparkle. And mix up a neutral. Alrighty, black. Mix up the 3 primary colors in even amount until you get to something that resembles black. And what that does is it gives you variation in your black. Now, if I were painting this for real, I would alter my lighting in Photoshop to kind of get a better idea of where this hair goes. Just getting it blocked in. See, my mixture that time had a little more blue in it. But black is never black, so. I'm going back and forth with dark and light. In kind of stripy fashion. And I'm not using my whitest white. Makes a nice hairline. The white of the eye is never white. I'm about ready to quit for today. May have to break down and get some real black out. Just before we go, let's give her a little highlight. Gonna have to do it better than that. All right. Anybody out there? Huh. YouTube's chat didn't keep up with us. All right, guys, I'll work on this again next week. And I've got her mouth going a little bit straight. Easy enough to fix. So I will see you guys next Tuesday. Don't forget the gift away. The link is on my blog. Actually.com, AXULLY.com. So thanks for coming. And I'm going to sign off now. And I will talk to you guys later.